Good evening. Today is October 5th, 2022. Norfolk Conservation Commission, in accordance with our provision, this meeting is being recorded, and it's also available online so the people at home can have access to it. And if you're calling from home, just wave and we will acknowledge you. Okay, the first public hearing is 68 River Road. I'll accept a motion to waive the reading of the public notice.
Make a motion. Second.
Any discussion, question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. We will open the reading. So now I'll accept the motion to open the meeting, open the hearing.
I make a motion to open the public hearing for 68 River Road.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The hearing is now open. Okay, in a nutshell, 68 River Road.
So I believe the applicant is with us on Zoom.
Yes, I'm one of them.
Okay.
Elias Montero.
Do you want to give a brief synopsis of what you're planning to do?
Yes, so back in April, 4 depot tests were done on the property. Some trees and shrubbery was disturbed. We were not aware that we had to go through conservation when that was done with the Board of Health. When we went to reschedule, we were made aware of this, and I believe you guys have the proposed plan on what the land scientist is looking to do for the perk test. We need to do, I believe it's 2 36-inch holes to do the perk test, and in addition with some, like a smaller shelf, about 18 inches deep, 12 inches wide, to get the rates for the percolation test. Once that's done, like nothing new will be disturbed, or no new trees will be knocked down. The machine will come in where it already disturbed and do the 2 holes for the test. And once the test is done, it will be leveled off and reseeded. And I believe Dave Sadowski, who's the engineer doing this work, has already been in contact with the Conservation Department, and they have found a seed that will be suitable to plant there and make sure everything goes back to as it was, or make it as nice as possible if the test passes or fails.
If it passes, when would you plan on building?
I would probably say in the spring.
Okay. But yeah, Dave Sadowski has been in contact with our agent, Caitlin.
Yes. And I think they came up with something like a pretty good plan to make sure that we get everything back as nice as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, typically if you put the right seed on, it's going to grow and cover it up and hold everything in place until the real digging begins. Caitlin?
So I think the applicant did a pretty good job summarizing the proposed work. A couple things I would like to add. The engineer submitted revised plans actually yesterday based on our conversations in regard to the topo contours. The initial plan didn't have any details on the datum that was used, and looking at known elevations from sites on either side of the parcel, they seem to contradict the elevations shown on this plan. So he was able to tell me that he used data from Mass Mapper, which is the state GIS system, to establish the contours that are shown on the plan. One issue with that is, I believe the majority of the site, if not all of the site, is located below the 100-year floodplain, which would put this work in bordering land subject to flooding, which was also noted in the plan revisions. Mr. Sadowski also submitted the FEMA firm, which shows the entire site being below the flood elevation. So, with the plan revisions and the addition of the FEMA firm, I think that for the scope of, this project, which is, a temporary exploratory project, all of the resource areas, are adequately shown. However, when it comes to making a determination, I think it would be wise to issue a positive 2B determination, which means that the wetland resource area boundaries, whether they are shown on the plans or not, are not confirmed under this decision. And in addition to that, issue a -2 determination, meaning the proposed activities are located within an area subject to protection under the Wetlands Protection Act, but will not alter that area.
So I just have a question, if it's okay.
Sure.
So issuing a positive 2B determination is saying there are no wetlands there, or we haven't determined the wetlands because it's non-consequential right now?
It is saying that the boundaries are not confirmed. So typically, if you did not issue a positive 2B determination, the boundaries shown on the plan would then be legally binding for the 3 years that the RDA is active.
Okay, so they haven't filed like a DEP number or shown any wetland flags or anything like that right now?
They do have, AES went out and flagged the wetlands on the site, as well as the mean annual high water boundary to the Charles River, which are shown on the plan up there. But since there, is a question as to whether or not the topo contours are accurate, I believe they are not accurate, and that likely the majority of the site is located in the floodplain. However, since this is a temporary project, having to redo the plans, potentially do more survey work, doesn't really seem appropriate.
Because right now, all they're doing is determining whether the land perks or not.
Exactly.
Before they can even determine whether they want to waste any money doing anything else.
Correct.
Okay. All right, that's perfectly clear now.
Any other questions, comments from the commissioners? Would anybody in the audience? Okay. So we're looking to issue a positive 2B determination and a -2 determination. Any other conditions or questions?
So I would just recommend the commission include that the applicant use a seed mix on the disturbed areas, specifically the New England Erosion Control Restoration Mix for detention basins and moist sites. After reviewing the specs for the seed mix, it's good for sites that are infrequently inundated with water, such as, sites within the floodplain. It's native species, and it also will grow in the late fall.
No.
So it seems to tick off all the boxes for what's necessary.
Do you have any questions or comments regarding the seed mix?
No, we're in agreement with that.
Oh, okay. All right. Seeing there's no other comments, then I'll accept a motion to close the hearing on 68 River Road.
Okay, so moved.
Second, please.
Adam Zucker, second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it passes, and I will accept a motion to issue the positive 2B and negative 2 determination with the discussed conditions.
Jim Wilson, so moved.
Second?
Rycroft, second.
Any further comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it passes. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Have a great night.
You too. Okay, the second hearing we have tonight is 86 North Street. NOI DEP file number 240-0653. And DEP issued this with no comments. Why don't you go ahead and just thumbnail it?
Sure. So since as David said, since the last meeting, DEP issued a file number with no comments. Also, after the last meeting, additional flagging was placed on site to better show the area where the debris is proposed to be removed. I conducted another site inspection to look at that area. I did find that, some of the, piles of wood, potentially could contribute wildlife habitat value, such as overwintering habitat, nesting, potentially foraging opportunities for certain animals. However, the remaining portions of the 100-foot buffer zone also have included similar habitat features that would provide these same values. So all in all, my opinion is that, the proposed work, which is approximately 3,000 square feet of area where the debris will be removed, will not have a considerable impact on the buffer zone as a whole and its capacity to provide wildlife habitat.
And to seed it if there are areas that are disturbed when they pull things out.
Yes, so as discussed in the last meeting, one special condition that I would recommend would be to use the New England Conservation Wildlife Mix on the disturbed areas where the debris is moved. And at the last meeting, the applicant seemed agreeable to that, and in speaking with them since, also confirmed that that is something they are okay with.
Anything you want to add, Dan?
No, that'll be fine.
Questions, comments from the commission?
I still have, Dave, a question on the means of removal? Are we looking at a skid steer going into this wetlands to pull stuff out, or is?
In the areas beyond the marked out limit of disturbance, Danny's gonna go in with a trash barrel and a rake and a shovel by hand and remove whatever debris we can by hand rather than try to bring a machinery. Oh, I'm sorry.
apologize.
Here we go. I'll start again. Dan's going to take a trash barrel and a rake and a shovel by hand and go into the areas that are on the down gradient side of the siltation barrier that's there, so that we don't have any disturbance, tire tracks or anything like that. Removing as much debris as he can, the tires and some rubbish that was left by the previous owner.
Do you have a thumb for the excavator that's there?
Yes.
I wouldn't, I don't know if the board has opinion, but I wouldn't mind seeing that reach in to pull the heavier stuff. I can see you in there trying to drag a wet, muggy tire out of there. It's not gonna be easy. But my concern is skid steer tracks or something going in, it's just gonna tear everything up. And I've seen that happen. So if you reach in with that and pulled it out, I wouldn't see a problem with that, but bringing the machine in could do some devastation.
Sure.
I can go out to the site, or Catherine or Caitlin can go out there. The site guy they have there is pretty diligent, has worked on a number of projects and very sensitive to, wetland and areas, so that we could, say, go ahead, grab that there, leave that, kind of just walk it real quickly with them.
Yeah, I've gone by, I've just not driven in. I was gonna stop in and take a look myself and see what actually is there, but I just don't think a machine in there. And you said you're not gonna bring one in, but I don't wanna see you killing yourself to pull, if you can reach in.
No, the amount that's behind the 100-foot is really small. It might
Okay.
only go out 10 or 15 feet. It's a lot smaller than we thought after Bruce
Oh,
flagged.
okay. All right.
The next lot, that's going to be a bigger challenge, but we'll start working on that and getting some paperwork in. That would require the demolition of the old cottage that's there, and there's a lot more debris in that location than than
That's
this
where
one
it's
here.
piled up now that I see pretty much out
Yeah.
front. Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get it to the point where we can start to load it and take it out.
Any other questions, comments?
I'd just like to add that I also found that the debris on the other side of the erosion controls is pretty minimal. It was a lot of, households,
That's the debris we can
refuse,
go around and just pick up and put in a
yeah,
trash barrel.
old clothing items,
Yep.
nothing backbreaking.
Fortunately,
Christmas-
2 weeks ago would have been the better time. Now we've had 6 inches of rain, but,
Yep.
well,
At least it stabilized. It was pretty dry for a while there. We had trouble with dust.
yeah.
And get the Christmas ornaments out.
Yes.
Okay. If nobody else has any comments, or nobody in the public, Mr. Sullivan, do you have something you'd like to say? Or are you calling in regarding 86 North Street?
No, I'm just listening in.
Oh, okay. We welcome that. All right. So seeing none, I'll accept a motion to close the hearing on 86 North Street.
Maggie Crowe, so moved.
Is there a second?
Jim Wilson, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the hearing's closed. I'll accept a motion to approve or deny the order of conditions as spelled out by Caitlin. And it's basically just the seed mix.
Correct.
All in favor? Okay.
Maggie Crowe, I make a motion to issue the order conditions for 86 North Street with the special conditions for the seeded New England conservation wildlife mix.
Second, please.
Jim Wilson, second.
Thank you, Jim. Any other comments? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, passes. Good to go.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
I'll be down to see it.
What's that?
Said I'll be down to see it.
It's the voice you just. Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
Anyways.
So the final agenda item is the Wetland Protection Regulations E-Code. Do you want to recap that, Caitlin?
Sure. So I believe everyone was here in June when town council went over the project. So now they would like the commission to formally readopt the regulations in the E-code format. Just to go over the changes other than the general reformatting and renumbering of the sections. There were two changes. The first being wherever the regulations refer to town treasurer and town tax collector, the name has been changed to treasurer/collector. The second change is in the new section 338F7, where the wording was changed from recording the permit to recording the order.
Okay. So, let's get a motion first on the acceptance of the E-code and the two recommendations on the wording.
Jim Wilson, so moved.
Adam Zucker, second.
Okay. Is everybody understand and straightforward with the first one's the easy one, town treasurer collector to treasurer collector. What does recording the permit to recording the order make any difference?
So it actually, the section has to do with recording the order of conditions at the registry.
Oh, okay.
Get my regulations out. So yeah, the section in question is talking about recording orders of conditions at the Registry of Deeds or Land Court. So I think it's appropriate, considering, I think it's more appropriate word than permit.
Because it is an order
Right,
from here, from the commission.
exactly.
Yeah, because we issue orders, not permits.
Yeah. Okay.
So ordered.
Any other comments or questions regarding this motion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it all passes. And the final thing is the minutes from September 7th. Did everybody get a chance to read them? Read them and weep? Any additions or corrections? Okay, I'll accept a motion to accept the minutes from September 7th, 2022.
What is What's with the voices? Maggie Crowe.
Halloween.
So moved. It's not Halloween yet.
Jim Wilson, second.
All in favor, say aye.
I have a question first.
Yes, sir.
Will I be voting on this because I watched the video, but I wasn't present?
Yeah, if you watch the video,
Okay.
For the minutes? Don't you just have to read the minutes?
What's that?
he watched the video of the meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
So
well
it's-
informed.
Yeah, so as opposed to being in the meeting, we watched the meeting and then we signed a document saying we watched the meeting.
And then you reviewed the
And then
minutes.
that
And then-
allows us to say,
Vote on items
to be,
presented.
yeah, to say we were part of it. And I think, what are the stipulation and rules as far as, it's a good point, because aren't there a certain number of meetings we can miss even though we watch them on a certain project?
Only one. You can only miss one.
Yes, the Mullins rule allows a member to miss one meeting.
So,
Strict.
so we can, yeah, you can be
Where
absent and watch it
information is
as one.
presented
Yeah.
on that item.
So after this, you'll be back to square one.
Then you just can't vote, yeah, on that particular item. If you weren't present for two where they presented information.
Some that drag on and on.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right,
Opposed? Passes. I'll accept a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Adam Zucker makes a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Is there a second?
It's 7:27.
It's
Al
7:27.
Finney, seconded.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, meeting's adjourned. See you on November.